Hello and welcome to the second game of day number 6 of StarLadder Season 6. It is going to be the second game for Fnatic to play in this season, and iCCup going to be playing another game as well. I believe it's also their second game. You're going to be seeing one game between these two teams. It is 4 games that we see today, with already 1 behind us, 2 ahead of us. And first it is Fnatic versus iCCup for us right now, and I will not be by myself. Once again, I am joined by Vykromond. Welcome back.
5 seconds.
Thanks, it's good to be back. iCCup, a team that's really hard to read. I think nobody kind of knew how they would do going into the TI3 qualifiers. They had a good series against Mouse. They took 1 game off them and looked pretty decent in the other 2. Then, of course, they kind of just lost pretty badly to QPad in the losers bracket game. That took them out of the TI3 qualifiers, and we haven't seen much since then. What we've seen hasn't been great. But this is a team with a lot of potential, and of course, they are playing with their full roster, whereas Fnatic has a stand-in for Fly.
Yeah, we are going to be just switching over to the standings. Game that we saw earlier today, not yet updated in it just yet, but it clearly shows that Fnatic sitting on 2 games played for now, so it's a 1 loss, 1 win for them, and iCCup 1 loss only for them, so maybe they can get on even ground with Fnatic in terms of points after this game, or Fnatic will actually be joining Virtus Pro Motorsports in terms of points. Of course, Fnatic, their run in StarLadder hasn't been that great yet. They've actually, well, they've won 1 game, woohoo, but the game that they lost badly. They lost against Mousesports. I mean, if you're thinking about StarLadder, you have, of course, got your top 6 to 8 teams that are always favorites to take that top 4 spots. And winning games against Mousesports or any of those other top 8-ish teams is very important, and losing a Mousesports in a 12-minute game is pretty painful. So
they lost in a 12-minute game?
They lost in a 12-minute game with their full roster, I believe.
10
what
seconds
happened?
Remaining.
Well, there were 2 games of Mousesports versus Fnatic in a row.
5 seconds remaining.
And the first one they lost, and then the second game they lost as well. That was just heavy aggression. I don't know. It was a combination of Mousesports just being all over the place the whole time, with every support rotating just superbly, and Fnatic just, I don't know, they didn't put their back into it and they just got rolled over, like literally.
That's really remarkable. That's too bad. I think actually they had to have been, I think that's when No Tail was out, so they probably were playing without
No Tail.
No Tail.
Yeah, they were, he was still in Japan, correct.
Yeah. But I didn't see that game. That is pretty crazy. Maus, of course, have been looking better and better recently, though.
Yeah. They've been like godlike since last Sunday, on a high.
Exactly.
But of course, iCCup Fnatic, I guess we have to focus on that one a bit, because the draft's already halfway on the way. They are both of these teams, or at least iCCup, is missing 50 seconds of bonus time because they were late. That's the reason why we started a bit later. Has already used some of that bonus time. Same thing goes for Fnatic, actually. They used quite a bit. We do have a Wisp, Lifestealer, Magnus, Bedrider getting banned out. No real surprises there. It was the Alone Druid that got picked up first for Fnatic, then Magnus, then the Gyrocopter and the Bane, of course, the combination with the Rocket Barrage and the Nightmare. And then the Weaver and the Shadow Demon. Quite interesting to see the Weaver and Alone Druid in the same team. But Fnatic has run that Weaver solo mid, I believe, right?
Ooh, I do not remember them running that. Weaver's an odd solo mid just because he's ranged, but his range is so small that he's one of the few ranged heroes who doesn't have the safety of the tower to protect him. You can do him as mid. There are actually some matchups that he's favored in, but I think the more likely case here is that Era goes on the Weaver in a tri-lane, and then Trixie goes on the Lone Druid solo, and they can do that either as an aggressive or a safe lane tri-lane.
I would like to see it as an aggressive then, because the Weaver on a tri-lane, I'm not convinced. But on an aggressive tri-lane, that's, of course, I mean, the disruption there with the Soul Catcher has a lot of potential, because the Shikushi does quite a lot of damage there. As we are going to see a Darkseer picked up iCCup, so they pick off an offlaner there. Possible jungle hero, of course, in theory, but we're going to assume that it's going to be a bit of both, probably.
Yeah.
Opening their bans for Fnatic to be mid heroes, and we see the puck getting banned out first.
Absolutely. They have to be a little careful because, of course, Fnatic unless they do decide to run one of these heroes mid. So Fnatic has also run Lone Druid mid in the past before, and depending on what the matchup is with iCCup, they might feel perfectly comfortable doing that again. The funny thing is all three of these heroes can mid. I actually think Weaver is the least likely one. We've seen a resurrection of mid Shadow Demon in some of the Chinese games that we've been watching. So CTY from VG played mid Shadow Demon the other day. Actually went pretty well, so I don't know if Fnatic have that cooking, but it would be fun to see a different take on this hero.
Yeah, I was kind of distracted there.
Yeah, no problem. The other thing about the Shadow Demon, I'm actually it's an interesting choice that they've gone for it, because one of the great things about Shadow Demon is that he's a good response to opposing carries that build stats heavy, because, like Phantom Lancer, for instance, because he makes the illusions of their illusions, and then they're very, very strong. But Gyrocopter is not that great of a hero to make illusions of, because he doesn't go stats heavy, he goes damage heavy, and the illusions don't get the flat cannon benefit. So if iCCup have Gyrocopter as their primary carry, so far Fnatic don't have that many tools to deal with it other than entangles.
Yeah, I'm actually both teams using a lot of their bonus time. Like iCCup only has 2 seconds left. Fnatic took a very long time to ban out that Jakiro. Of course, it could combine up nicely with the Bane and the Gyro, but normally the Leshreck and the Lina are more favored in that case. Kind of surprised about that. iCCup banning more jungle heroes here, expecting a double lane from Fnatic coming off from them with jungle hero potential. Yeah.
I think Fnatic, I think those are actually the correct bans, even if it took them a long time to come to them. Weaver, you want to get him those early levels if you're running something like a safe lane with him. So having the jungler not taking away extra levels from him, plus the capacity to always come in with something like a Dark Troll Summoner, and just engage with that would be very, very strong.
Yeah, we're gonna see Fnatic thinking very long about another one. They can't ban out too many mid-heroes, as you already mentioned, because they don't want to be shooting themselves in the foot, as it were. I mean, Queen of Pain still in the pool, Storm still in the pool. Leshreck now being taken out, so there we only have a Lina left, which is actually a hero that Fnatic could go for themselves as well. Of course, we have the Light Strike Ray to follow up on the disruption. I'm actually thinking that might just be exactly what they are aiming for. Otherwise, why ban out the Jakiro? But yeah, it's going to be the Lina that gets banned up by iCCup. They realized what was coming.
Yeah, absolutely the correct. Yeah, no, I mean, I think your analysis was definitely right. The Lina would have been a good complement to this lineup, and it is taken away. So this leaves Fnatic still fishing for that additional support, as well as a mid for themselves. But we only really saw one mid hero banned out in the form of that Puck. I think that actually was the best bit. In the second phase, and I think that actually was the best choice. But it does mean that they will have to pick something up for that. Unless they just want to run the Lone Druid. There's still Clockwork in the pool. Something that we could look out for.
5 seconds
Definitely. I don't think so for Fnatic, though. Like, they already have so many offlaners. Unless you want to run it as support, which is definitely possible. But yeah, Queen of Pain is still in the pool. I think that if Fnatic doesn't pick it up right now, if they still want a mid-hero, then they're going to be having to face it. And Weaver against Queen of Pain, not really nice for a Weaver, because he does need to come in range, as you said, and that Scream is going to hurt. Of course, he can still dodge the Shadow Strike, but the Scream is going to be fairly painful, and this is bonus time that is ticking away for Fnatic. Just 10 seconds left, and then they are going to be getting a random hero appointed to them, and they pick up an Earthshaker.
Okay. Fnatic really likes this hero, of course. We'll have to see if it's actually No-Tail on the Earthshaker or if it's Hani. I know Hani really likes playing Earthshaker, just in terms of which players, but it's most likely going to be No-Tail Earthshaker, and then K, who's their stand-in for Fly. They've actually played with him before in professional games. I think he's been their stand-in once or maybe twice. And there's the Clockwork from iCCup.
Yeah, and that's going to be allowing them to even go for Darkseer Clockwork lane, as we've seen in the past a couple of times now, making for a very strong strong lane. Or we can just see Darkseer in the jungle or Clockwork as support. There's a lot of options that iCCup has right now, and I'm actually thinking Clockwork support is probably going to be the one to go for. You have got the Nightmare set up for the cogs. They still need a strong mid one hero, though, to just dominate basically mid-game before Gyrocopter is big enough to deal with everything else. But right now they look a bit off early game.
Who does? Fnatic?
No, iCCup.
iCCup. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I do like just how open their draft is in terms of laning. And Fnatic had the Tinker, so that'll go up into the middle, that tri-lane bottom, and then the Lone Druid top. I think, most likely. Because you can't... Earthshaker is pretty tough to make work in an aggressive try, relative to a safe try. But they could try to do it. They could go right up into the faces of iCCup, put the Lone Druid solo safe against the Darkseer. That is an okay matchup for both of them. Because the Darkseer can do creep cutting, the Lone Druid can just do his Lone Druid thing.
Remaining.
And they'll probably be fine with that. iCCup adding on the Templar Assassin, so it looks like you were right. Most likely going to be a support Clockwork, unless they want to do something like that wacky 2-1-2 with a double Darkseer Clockwork lane. Again, they have options.
Yeah, they definitely do. A lot of rotation options from them as well. Even though it's going to be tough to try and get a gank off, because either you're going to go up against a very tanky hero, a very elusive hero, a hero that can disrupt and walk away, a hero that can fissure, or a hero that can make you stand in March in the Machines where you do not want to stand in. So Fnatic having a pretty safe lineup while being able to be aggressive as well, but only basically only counter aggressive. If iCCup goes in, Fnatic can come back harder. But their initiation is of course the disruption, but the follow up on the disruption not really there.
Right.
Early
It's
game,
an interesting choice with the Templar Assassin, actually, because the matchup with Tinker is not that favorable of one for her. The March of the Machines can quickly chew through charges of refraction, and then when she has no refraction up, Laser will just chew through a giant amount of her HP and gives her miss. So it's a dangerous lane in the middle for iCCup.
Yeah, I actually like the TA hair.
It is a nice outfit, though. What is she? Is that the polycount set? Oh no, it's the third insight set.
Third insight set.
Fancy.
But yeah, a lot of things to eat through the refraction, and well, up against the Tinker mid, she's not going to be able to kill off the Tinker. She probably won't die, but she won't have an easy time last hitting purely for that laser, of course. But we'll see how that's going to go, as it looks like we have got an aggressive trial in here with Era on the Weaver. You have to, well, I guess the disruption is there. I mean, the defensive side of iCCup definitely there as well, though. It's going to be tough to try and get something going there. But let's see who's playing what exactly, as we have Fnatic having no tail on the Shadow Demon. K as a stand-in, going to be playing the Earthshaker. Era will be on the Weaver. Hani on the Tinker in the mid lane, and on the bottom lane we'll have the solo safe lane. In this case, it is Trixie on the Lone Druid.
The battle begins.
And then on the... Actually, we have an engagement going on.
Yeah, Jackal in some trouble. Gonna be chased by a double damage Earthshaker, but they're gonna be trying to get Always Wanna Fly. There comes the Shikushi. The Sentry was already down. Always Wanna Fly in a lot of trouble. Is there a Gemini attack? No, there's not, because the Shikushi was the first pickup. There is a Clarity ticking, though. Just need 5 more mana. K, can he get the Fisher down? Never mind. The Salve already healed up way too much. No first blood, but an engagement all for that double damage rune that K managed to grab.
Yeah. So, I mean, putting it on the Earthshaker doesn't make any difference for that fight, so it's... In the end, they managed to escape without dying. Just to quickly introduce iCCup, we do have Jackal as the carry on the Gyrocopter in this 3v3 lane. He is supported by Always Wanna Fly and Support Clockwork, which you correctly judged, and We Just Zik on the Bane, and then in the middle that leaves Resolution on this Templar Assassin. This could be a tough lane for him. I don't envy him this lane at all. And then we have Mag on the Darkseer up against the Lone Druid.
Yeah, I kind of like what Resolution just did here in the mid lane. Of course, our March of the Machines was going through, and the creep wave of iCCup was tanking it up a bit, and Resolution managed to position himself so that the creep wave actually, you know, blocked the robots for him, so he was able to get his refraction a bit more, but he still got a bit hit. Of course, the creep wave didn't last that long. But that's gonna be Hani's build. I mean, lasers and March of the Machines gonna be giving Resolution a very tough time. And it's not gonna become any easier over time either. I mean, it will just be a tough lane for him. In theory, he shouldn't die. But yeah, that's only in theory. Everybody can overextend.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, exactly. The one thing that Fnatic can do that I like with this lane configuration is they have some freedom to rotate the supports to try to get kills, and I feel like that's really what tips the scale for the Templar Assassin is the Shadow Demon and Earthshaker, if they rotate over, can ensure that they actually kill that TA by blocking her escape and disrupting her, and so that starts to get Tinker that huge advantage in the middle. That said, I don't know, Fnatic's lineup still seems a little bit chancy just in terms of their main initiating stun is this Earthshaker, who will need levels, which are hard to get in the aggressive try, and will need to not just get picked off early by things like Clockwork Hook.
Yeah, and on top of that, of course, it is a stand-in. They might have played with him before, but you never know what kind of impact that actually has. The synergy might not be all there, as we do now have a rotation coming off from No-Tail as well as K. They don't have a smoke actually, so they'll just have to run. No-Tail actually being completely poor. He just upgraded the courier and has a total of 5 gold. Woo. But he doesn't have any regen. Who did they pull? Is it Trixie that got so much? No, Trixie's only got his own regen. Hani then. Yeah, Hani got his regen.
Yeah. They pulled Hani some, and No-Tail I think bought the normal courier and wards and sentries and the flying courier, and he spent some time stacking the ancients.
And he gave No-Tail also tangles. It's like, yeah, well-doer, 101.
Nice guy No-Tail, basically.
Yep. Exactly.
And, I mean, the fact that they're leaving Era alone means that he needs a little bit more survival in this lane as they try to generate kills in other lanes. Actually lurking here, but did they get spotted?
Don't think so. Mag does have a surge though. He is level 5. He's actually doing really well in this bottom lane. It is 3 minutes in. He's got 14 last hits, which is not amazingly well if you're gonna try to tower skip, but his levels are insane.
He actually hasn't been doing the creep cutting, so he's doing very well considering he's level 5 already, and Fnatic, it looks like they're just going to have to give up on the attempt to find a kill on him, and this is putting them behind. Clockwork Always Wanna Fly is already at 3. K and No-Tail are both at level 1, and without any effects of that changing anytime soon. No-Tail has 0 XP.
They are trying to stack the jungle a bit, but...
Sure. This isn't a bad move, but the thing is, Weaver, not that fast of a jungle clearer. Lone Druid, until he gets something like Maelstrom, also not that fast clears.
Oh.
The one thing is, of course, Tinker. So the Tinker will get all the space to sort of clear everything up with March of the Machines. I meant to comment on the fact that they got 2 sets of rock golems in the Ancient is really annoying for them, because it's actually, this is the hardest double stack to stack for the 3rd time.
Yeah, it's not the easiest ones. Mean looking buggers. But they do look mean. They look like the meanest of everybody.
If iCCup spot out the fact that Fnatic are stacking all these jungle camps, I'm really scared for Fnatic, because I feel like because they have such a greedy lineup and it peaks pretty late, Jackal could just run in there with his flak cannon, clear up all of the stacks that Fnatic have worked to build up, and that'll put iCCup way, 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 way ahead.
Yeah. And since they have a Tinker in the game, I'm expecting iCCup to know that that's actually going on. The question is, can they get in range without really forcing out a fight that they can't take? Because their early game engagement's not too ideal if they're gonna have to deal with Martian machines and fishers. In the meantime, there's a dive on the top lane. Disruption is gonna be there up on Jackal. Can Era try to do some damage? The tower is not really cooperating, so that will be that. Always Wanna Fly pops his cog, should also be able to get himself away. In the meantime, we do have an entangle up on Mag, but he is able to surge himself away. Trixie has been trying to get an entangle for ages now, but finally gets one and not able to get the kill. I mean, those are the kind of things that we have to watch out for. Of course, entangles can get first bloods because it's still on the table. An overextending TA can get a first blood if she thinks she can get a first blood instead, and then one of them will get the first blood. Not really gonna happen for now. And of course, on the top lane, it is Era by himself. Sentry board, Nightmare. They can try to go for this. The cogs will be there to help out. Rocket Barrage gonna be hitting as well, and that's the first blood. It is Era that goes down. It is Jackal that picks up the gold. Important one to have it on as well. And well, that's gonna put iCCup even more ahead in this top lane.
Yeah, that was very nice play. Actually, I always want to fly very on point with these cogs.
Oh, mid lane, Hani. He's gonna go down. Mag actually. Oh, Fisher. Hey, Kay. Welcome to the party. It was too late to save his carry, but the tower got the last hit on the Darkseer anyway. So it ends up in being a 1-for-1 trade, but of course Tinker not getting any golden experience for that one.
Yeah. Very nice pickups for iCCup here. Nice kill on Era in the top. Good cogs placement from Always Wanna Fly. He put 1 cog so that it would push Weaver away, and then when they went for the kill, he put 1 cogs to keep Weaver in. And so very, very nice play from Always Wanna Fly, and nice aggression from Resolution and Mag in the middle. And Fnatic, again, these are one of the teams that run the absolute greediest lineups. Like, 3 people need to farm, and iCCup just killed 2 of them.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Trixie that has a lot of weight on his shoulders right now. And he needs to get lucky with those untangles as well. That's actually fairly important. Mag has been able to do his thing. He of course is the one that actually died in the mid lane, but he is level 7, Trixie level 8. For a solo offlane Mag, Darkseer, he's doing just fine. In terms of net worth, we do see iCCup just pulling out ahead. Of course, the people that actually got kills. We actually have the TA higher than Jackal right now, so I guess it's still a kind of a result from being up against an aggressive trial lane. Oh, Era thought he was safe, but cooldown disruption. Actually, No-Tail, they want to try to turn this around. Era still gonna go down. Maybe they can get something in return. Doesn't look like it though. No-Tail looks to be a target, also Flacken and helping out, and only K gets himself out of life, and that is a double kill for Jackal.
Yeah, nice attempt by No-Tail there to save Era, but unfortunately the Weaver just too low health. Plus, again, an on-point Cogs from Always Wanna Fly, having a very nice Clockwork support game here. And Fnatic, I mean, so far they're not really making everything work for them.
Not at all. Nice iCCup, they're just profiting from the things that don't work out from Fnatic. That was Resolution, scouting out the Ancients, I guess that's what you meant. By the way, after what you said, they got a bit of more golems.
They did. Yeah, this can't be stacked anymore, period. Sometimes if you get some drakes, you can do another stack. I think it's actually nearly impossible to stack this many. The Mud Golems with the Thunderhide. The nice thing about the Mud Golems, the Rock Golems, is that they're small, like they pack in closely, so maybe it'll work, but you can just see. Look at this. It's like people trying to get on a subway in Paris.
Yeah, doesn't work. Does not work. I like the Sentry Ward that he plays, just to make sure that there's not going to be a trap, making Hani susceptible to those slows and getting harassed there by the golems themselves. Oh, here comes Resolution looking to take some kills. Oh, he has to be careful though, because that hurts. Did he manage to take some creeps?
He did. He got 3 of the golems, but he's got to be careful about this.
Yeah, Era actually coming in as well, but the Fiend's grip up on Era, and he is so squishy, but the disruption saves his life for now. Meld hit is not going to hit. Hook shot in. Hey, always wanna fly. Gets No-Tail inside those cogs. No-Tail just man fighting that. I don't think he can do anything there though, and he knows it too. Well, in the meantime, Handy trying to get everything there. He does get the last of the golems and is gonna be able to walk away after that. But they did lose this Shadow Demon for it in the end, and a couple of Ancients as well.
Yeah, overall, iCCup just doing the right things to try to take control of this map, and it comes down to good warding and good scouting. They have this jungle warded, so they know when Fnatic are going to clear this out, and they had Resolution acting as a forward operating base to sort of spot out the Ancient shenanigans.
Yeah, we see Resolution already finding the new stack. It's going to be something that they have to keep an eye on. In the meantime, their own camp is not really being stacked. There is now, however, a Helm of the Dominator up on Jackal, so there's a Wild Wing Ripper standing around, probably attempting to stack a bit of camps. They have to be careful for them. It's the same thing goes for them as it goes for Fnatic. Both of these teams have got heroes that can just take an Ancient stack like that, and whoever comes first gets all the gold, as we have got Resolution actually picking up the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I like this. We actually have seen TAs sometimes not even go for it, but I think it's absolutely the right call here. Get in, do damage, and just be able to act as that forward force. And they're actually smoked up, so they've added the blink on, and this gives them the ability to initiate on the one core Fnatic hero that they haven't done anything to yet, which is Trixie.
It's going to be a really crucial fight. We have to check, are there TPs? K has a TP. Buta Travel are actually up on Hani. Era has a TP. And the last one, of course, is going to be No-Tail. They need to help him. There needs to be support for Trixie. As soon as people realize that they come in, the TP should come. There is a drawing on the minimap from No-Tail. No-Tail, don't run into that one. No-Tail, what you doing? No-Tail, disruption there. But it's not going to be helping him out. He is going to be going down to a neutral. Nice and nice.
And that actually is great for Fnatic because now they have the exact positioning. Oh man, the hook.
Hook in up on Hani. He can't do anything. No March of the Machines. Actually, one hit of March of the Machines, but he'll go down. Always Wanna Fly will go down with him though. March of the Machines and the tower hits. Gonna be too much for him. So I have to say, I mean, even though it is, of course, you know, it's not ideal losing targets like that. They did get a trade in the end. But the most important thing is they didn't kill off Trixie. He's fine.
Exactly. They protected Trixie, and that's a big deal because right now this Lone Druid is their pride and joy. Basically, he's amassing farm pretty quickly. most of the way to Armlet. You can see he's got the Gloves of Haste, the Blade of Attack, and he has enough for the Helm, which means he's only about 650 gold. That's a lot of pinging. I don't know why there's so much pinging.
Ancients. I don't know. It's a really tough word to say very fast after one another. You should try it.
It is. Maybe later.
I realized I started saying it's like, okay, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah, I can totally see how that would be an effective tongue twister. So if iCCup can secure both ancient camps for themselves, you can see that they're using the Helm of the Dominator Dark Troll to stack this camp. If they can pick up both camps, then this Gyro is going to leap ahead of Fnatic's lineup because, again, as I said, Fnatic's lineup is greedy. So if you can take away any of their farming sources, you're in good shape.
Yeah, we do have an Invis rune upon resolution. That's gonna be, oh, poor No Tail. Or Trixie. No Tail. Trixie. No Tail. No Tail. No Tail. Oh, he's gonna get locked inside. He can't go anywhere. Disruption is still there to try and help out with the Fiend's Grip up on Trixie. TP support is gonna be slow because they're in between all the towers, and that is gonna be the kill that they wanted all along. Trixie goes down. Resolution with the last hit, and we see that Era is just running for his life. Gets a trap, walks right over it. But Shikushi is still going to be there. Oh my god, so many people around there. He is going to be safe though.
No sentries, I don't think. They're out of sentries. Trixie, really unlucky there. I would actually suggest to Trixie that he contact Steam support because he's using the Panda cosmetic, but he didn't get an entangle in 3 hits.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
True. For a moment there, I thought you were serious, but
fortified.
yeah.
No,
I'm like, oh my god, is there a bug that I don't know about? No, wait a second.
But the fact is, if he had gotten an entangle on first hit to disrupt that Fiend's Grip, I think he might have been okay.
Yeah, that is definitely true. He is, however, being shut down a bit in his farming, and on top of that, that's the first tower being taken down. The tier 1 tower bottom on the side of Fnatic got dropped, so the farming space of Trixie severely reduced right now. And it looks like he is gonna just be content with it. He has no choice basically, and is going to be with his team in the mid lane. Let's see if they can take it down and return. I'm kind of expecting iCCup to want to fight this though after they've taken down the Ancients, which is what Jackal is doing right now, so he is going to be having a lot of gold in a moment.
Yeah. The fact is that Fnatic have 3 cores and iCCup have like 2-ish and then Darkseer, but their 3 top farming players are all farming substantially better than Fnatic are, and you can see that reflected on the net worth, where Trixie has good net worth, but it's only the same as Mag, and then Resolution and Jackal are on another tier. And clearing up this Ancient stack gives Jackal even more. I mean, he's now up to about, at the end of this, he'll have more than 3,000 gold. So he can definitely start building some bigger impact items.
Yeah, on the bright side for Fnatic, Hani is, of course, also taking down Ancient stack, and more importantly, he is, of course, going to be one of those people that, at some point, he'll have his Blink Dagger, and when he does, he'll be able to just keep the lanes pushed out, and that is when the real trouble is going to start for iCCup in terms of Hani. That's when Hani can really contribute massively to the state the game is in, as both teams actually go for a bit of a smoke. We have always on a fly Resolution, and we just zig, trying to find the Tinker, and behind the tier 1 top we have a K as well as No Tail looking for a pickup, and Hani is actually going to TP there as well, and everybody of iCCup is in the wrong place. Or unless they want to try to find Trixie. Nah, they want to go for tier 1 then.
They don't really have the vision of where Trixie is right now. They will in a moment. Oh no, they won't. They can get the tower. It's most likely a trade of tier 1 for tier 1. I think this trade favors iCCup slightly, this tower trade, but it's not like a huge deal. Actually, they're TPing to defend.
Ooh, and fortification, make sure that there's no last up on the tower, but the Marching Machines, of course, straight there. Resolution taking a lot of damage, but able to deny the tower. Fisher goes down, but this is Fnatic forced back, because they can't do anything anymore, as Mag is going to try to chase down Hani. Not really going to be an easy escape for Hani, as he doesn't have a blink nor a force. And there is a vacuum there, as actually Era indeed goes down. We are going to see also Hani going down though. That's 2 dead on the side of Fnatic. Era dropping on the side of the tower around there-ish.
Yeah, nice sentry placement there. The thing about Weaver is his HP is so low, even with power treads on. Like, that's the only thing providing him stats right now. He has no other stats, that and a branch. So even just the max rank brain sap from Bane is like damn near like half of Weaver's health. And that just makes it so easy for Gyro to drop like 2 hits on him and kill the Weaver. And so no Weaver, no Tinker, and Resolution is still hunting in the mid. They might catch him with an Entangle.
Ooh, Fisher, no tail running for his life. Resolution should be fine though with the haste rune, but it was a close one.
Again, 3 hits, no Entangles for Trixie's. Really, Ice Frog, please, what is this?
And I just want to point out, we are 16 minutes into the game and No-Tail does not have his Demonic Purge just yet. He is level 5 and it's such an important spell to have when you're up against a TA to just purge away the reflection, slow him down, because movement speed is so incredibly important for Resolution as well. Just be able to you know, get yourself into fights, get yourself in range for that melt damage, and they're actually going to be going for Roshan. Should be able to take this without any fighting. I don't think Fnatic really wants to try and fight this.
The other thing is that Earthshaker is 6, so he does have Echo Slam, but take a look at their mana. Like, Earthshaker right now has, when he has full mana, he does not have enough to Echo Slam Fissure and Enchant Totem. He simply does not have that mana. And because they're so underfarmed on these supports, Fnatic do not have a single Arcane Boot to the entire team's name. No-Tail doesn't even have Brown Boots.
That's actually pretty painful.
Yeah, so like, basically the Earthshaker is only going to be able to cast about 1 spell per fight. Because realistically, he's not going to start every fight at 100% mana. And, yeah.
Well, we are only 2 towers behind, right, for Fnatic. They have, okay, there's the nice, so that kind of helps. But there is actually over 10k gold in favor for iCCup right now. So the amount of farm that iCCup has been able to get is quite insane. Of course, kills are going to be helping out with that a lot, especially considering that Jackal has actually never died yet. And he's actually took 3 of the kills on the map for himself. We have the experience graph massively favoring iCCup as well. Again, 10k in favor of iCCup. And it is really going to be a question of how well Fnatic can turtle this out and just wait until their heroes have more items to actually scale up against the heroes of iCCup. But by that time, I mean, we all know what a Gyrocopter can do with time. I mean, he can just get himself a rapier at some point, and it's not going to be a desperation one. It's going to be a victory one.
You could do a victory rapier. They do have a lot of options. The fact is, TA and Gyro basically have their BKBs. TA's is very close, and Gyro's is done. So that, I don't know, it's going to be so scary for Fnatic for so long, because they need to get Era in. I mean, he's level 9. He's 3 levels behind these 3 top heroes of iCCup, and he really all he has is Treads and Akala. So this Weaver's just, he's going to be a source of auto attack damage later, but right now he's a source of not very much in general. And the magic damage that Fnatic deal is going to be somewhat absorbed. The BKBs I actually think aren't that huge for iCCup, but they are something.
Yeah, we indeed see Era. He's just, I mean, he is 0-3-0. 2 kills have been done by Fnatic so far, and who actually have been involved. We have got an involvement from the Earthshaker, that's awesome. We have got an involvement from the Shadow Demon, awesome. And has there actually been a deny? I don't think so. Oh, come on, with the entangles? No? Okay. No entangles.
Exactly, I'm telling you. This is making Lone Druid look balanced.
Actually, nobody actually got the last hits on the kills that Fnatic has been able to do. They got the Darkseer once near the tower, of course, in the mid lane. That was a trade. And they got the Clockwork at some point. I think that was a trade as well, because the tower was able to get the last hit as well on the top lane.
Yeah, I think you're right. I like this Clockwork loadout for Always Wanna Fly. He just has boots, urn, and medallion. So he's like ultimate utility Clockwork. And medallion synchronizes so well with Templar Assassin, not to mention it speeds up your Roshan time.
Yeah, and that bear is gonna be so squishy. Like, that bear is the one thing that should be keeping Fnatic in the game long enough, but if you put minus armor on the bear, he's gonna drop so fast.
Absolutely. The bear, the fact is, it's got 11 armor, so that's good, but that can be just nullified by a meld strike so easily, and then your bear's in trouble, and with no bear, they really don't have much going for them at all, except for honey.
Yeah, tier 2 tower, I'm not sure if Fnatic actually is able to defend this. It looks like they want to try, though. From the top side, it was No-Tail and Trixie thinking about coming in, but the hook shot actually... Did it miss? Where did it go? It missed. Okay.
It missed, yeah.
And Feeble up on the bear, why not? Resolution backing off.
Again, like the last game, Bane is actually quite good when he enfeebles that bear. I mean, it's doing 47 damage, and its attack speed is not that great yet, so...
Oh. TPing from Hani, marches the machines to try and stop it. He has to be careful though, because Resolution can just blink in on him, pop some BKB, and might be able to kill him off in time. The force staff will of course still be there, but the tower goes down. iCCup thinks, okay, you know what? We got what we came for. Let's back.
Yeah, I mean, iCCup honestly playing a much more overall disciplined and strategically intelligent game than I think we've seen from them in a few days. They're looking very much like they did when they sort of gave Maus a fight at the beginning of the Western qualifiers, or even if we go all the way back to Tech Labs, when I think most people in our scene learned about this team and were like, oh, these guys are actually really good. And so it's the coherent strategy and just good execution of that strategy. And another big Ancient stack is going to come Gyro's way. They just made the 4th stack here, and that's going to be a lot more gold flowing right into their coffers. And they're the team that needs gold less, and they're getting a lot more of it.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Fnatic's team hasn't really been trying to continue to stack it, so no extra gold for Hani just yet. He's got 1600 gold, he's got his 4 staff, but he can't really split push with it that safely because you need a blink dagger to be able to do that. Basically, with the 4 staff, you can just your enemy can follow you through, so he can't really do the things that he wants to do yet. And of course, one thing that we actually have to keep in mind, like, iCCup was in the Western qualifiers, was probably one of the biggest tournaments that you want to train for, so they trained, and they trained hard, and they are like really hard, because you know you want to win that. Fnatic, they got a direct invite, they didn't need to train for anything. And we see the results of just a bit of training, I think, right here.
I think so.
That's a big difference.
For sure. With Fnatic, I don't know. I feel like when they finally have access to their full roster all the time, which I think is after this month, they're going to do a boot camp in Belgrade, I think.
Yeah, correct.
One of the things that I think they're going to have to look at, and this is difficult, is it's not just the coordination of their players. I also feel like some of the strategies that we see Fnatic coming back to, I don't want to say that they've been figured out, but teams have adapted to them better. Again and again, we see Fnatic take these extremely high farm requiring lineups with 2 farmers, 3 farmers, 4 farmers, and you could just see iCCup knowing that Fnatic were going to do that, getting good map control. You can only support 3 farmers if you have 3 areas of the map to farm. And right now, Fnatic have like 1.5 areas of the map.
Yeah, and on top of that, they don't really have a hero that, like Templar Assassin, would dominate mid-game. They need to have a good start with that, and they don't really have that. What they tried to get with the aggressive Trilon, of course, didn't really work out as intended. But I guess even if that worked out okay, you would still have a Templar Assassin pretty big. The Weaver would still be pretty squishy. The only difference would be that Jackal wouldn't have had this amazing farm, which he has. So iCCup is looking good, but it wouldn't have made that big of a difference if he wasn't.
Right. Precisely. Just overall, I mean, Fnatic are still in this. We're talking like they're out of it, and they really aren't. Because the nice thing about a tri-core lineup is, even if it gets going very, very late, as long as the other team doesn't punish you that much, it's like, hey, remember we have 3 people who scale well with farm. So that gives them some potential. Trixie's still farming, of course. He is getting that attack speed on the bear, which is very critical. Most likely a Assault Cuirass, I think.
Yeah, I would think so too.
And then Era they have given him some free space up here. He's going for Dezo, I think, on Weaver. I think that's what this Mithril Hammer means. And that'll synchronize pretty well with them as well. It doesn't give him any survivability, but what it does give him is synchrony with the bear, where they can deal a lot of damage.
And that's a courier.
Has been killed.
Wow.
It was just flying there, and I'm actually thinking that Jackal was expecting the bear to just be scouting with no master around, but then all of a sudden he started attacking, and then you're done. TP out from everybody, they don't lose anybody, and that's a big pick-off.
What was it carrying?
Wards.
Oh, okay, well,
I think
yeah, all it has is wards and 1 town portal scroll, so yeah. If that had been something for Gyrocopter, that would have been huge. But even so, nice that Fnatic got it and they escape. The hook shot from Always Wanna Fly did not land, so that was good.
Oh.
He just picked up his brown boots on no-till.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Happy him. I think he's very happy with that. He just wanted to share it with the world. 25-minute boots. No problem.
25-minute brown boots for Shadow Demon, and that's been the story of this game so far, and that just shows you just how much of a mountain that Fnatic still have to climb.
Yeah, he's 4 kills that iCCup has of the 11 that they have. He has been keeping up with the wards though. He even counter-warded a bit on the Ancients, but to no avail really. It was only a 3-minute ward and the stack was already there. And
Poor No-Tail. He hasn't had the easiest game. What is going on over here though? How did that even happen? Mag was caught in a really weird spot, but he vacuums to get out of it.
Yeah, normally you would go there to just have only one Ancient attacking you, so you can take it down, but I'm kind of thinking he just misplayed. He wanted to try and check for the ward. He has got a gem of true sight, so probably that was what he was aiming for.
You're totally right. I wasn't even thinking of that. That's definitely what he was doing. And so he has to hop back out. But they're doing again. iCCup. One thing that's interesting is that they are giving Fnatic a little bit more space now than they were earlier. They've lightened the pressure from the wards. Like you can see that they don't have many observer wards going. The only one that they have is in their own jungle. And just in general, I feel like they're giving Fnatic space to come back into the game if they want. They were waiting for Rosh, and he is up, so they're going to pick this up. I hope that the Aegis leads to a change of behavior patterns.
Yeah, I think so too, because iCCup, they've been ahead for quite some time. They've been sitting on 14k advantage for about 5 to 6 minutes right now, and I'm kind of surprised they haven't been trying to be more aggressive, but maybe the Aegis is exactly what they wanted to have, and with that they're going to try to push. Looks like Fnatic, of course, they're not going to try to contest that because they can't, but maybe they can take towers in return. Fortification goes off though, and TPs run for your lives. Mag with the vacuum, Fisher helping out, should be enough for everybody to get out safely. Let's see if JK able to get himself out. Era running for his life. Hook shot in! K! No, I said JK, but of course I meant K. He's the only one that goes down though, and he is still very low level, so he's back up again in 25 seconds.
Yeah, if just losing your Earthshaker there is great, and honestly, I think he knew he'd die. If he had TP'd out, that would have been one thing, but it's okay, so to speak. No pun intended. But he did save the rest of his team with that good fissure, so nice play by K there.
Yeah, and that is gonna be probably iCCup pushing in. They actually gave the Aegis to the TA. So Jackal not really getting it, probably because he wants to have another inventory slot. He actually is not carrying a TP roll anymore, Squirrel. Tier 1 tower, sorry, Tier 2 tower got denied on the top lane, just like the Tier 1. So there's 2 towers down on iCCup, both are denied. That's actually pretty painful for Fnatic because they need that gold.
You're absolutely right. They badly need the gold, and having it denied is very, very crucial. And actually, Resolution, I would expect him to pick up this DD rune on the way, because TA with a DD is just terrifying. He's not going for it. Okay. They just feel like they can go anyway. He's got the Desolator. This gives them better push. This is actually an incredibly strong and scary push, because they've got the MKB, the Dezo. The only thing is, Gyrocopter without that Aegis does mean that you can just see he's kind of taking a ton of damage from Honey.
Yeah, the March of the Machines, it is... You know, it's and March of the Machines, and a Fisher, and Shakushi, and a Bear. There's a lot of turtle potential up on Fnatic, and they're showing for it. And it's going to be tough for iCCup to actually push in. They, at some point, they can't go for a siege. They, at some point, just need to hook in with Always Wanna Fly, catch Hani out of position, kill him off, and then they can go if Hani doesn't fight back, which she actually could right now.
And Era manages to pick up the tower kill and not get punished for it. Resolution TP's away from the fight to go try to mop up Era, and he doesn't even get a deny that time. So that was a free and clear tower kill for Era. He's 400 gold off of his own Desolator, which gives him a little bit of... He's been their primary split pusher, weirdly enough, and that'll help him.
Yeah,
there's the DD rune for Jackal.
And he actually has got the Desolator already complete. The recipe was on the courier, and that is going to be making a difference. He's going to be very elusive. They do have that gem, though, and that's going to be making it tough again. But also with the pipe and the mechanism, so Shakushi is not really going to do anything, really. But he is actually able to contribute a bit to the fight, which he wasn't able to do before. In the meantime, Hani being forced to just stick inside his base and continue, or around his base rather, around his tier 2, to just continue to push people off. And iCCup back to the drawing board, looking for a way to actually push into the base of Fnatic, which is proving to be fairly tough.
Right. It is that turtling potential that you mentioned. It's immense. That said, I like this pickup of the Satanic. He's not quite done with it, but he's very close for Jackal. Because what that does is it actually lets him fight under the March of the Machines. Right now, that's the thing that they can't do.
So the reason that tier 2 mid was warded off basically was that Jackal couldn't walk into the March. He can't walk into the March in BKB because March of the Machines is universal damage. It goes through BKB. So, and in the meantime, he can't use the BKB while not standing in the March because it's a total waste of a BKB. So it's this weird dilemma. What Satanic changes is it means he can walk right into the middle of BKB and lifesteal, into the middle of the March of the Machines and lifesteal enough to just stand there and live through it.
Yeah, and, you know, we were talking at the start of the game already about places to farm. You have three people that need farm, and their space is just so diminished right now. And iCCup looking to diminish it even more by having a siege once again, forcing everybody to sit around their mid lane.
They actually might go for the bear? No, it was blocked. He didn't want the bear. Oh, and Tangle actually hits.
Well, that's nice, but
yeah,
no follow-up really. Well, lucky for Era that he actually is able to do something right now. As we have actually Resolution jumping in up on hand. He is in trouble right now, but the laser helping out with the missed chance. Disruption helping out there as well. He's going to be putting Resolution in a bit of a trouble. The Demonic Purge. But doesn't do enough damage. There's not enough damage there at all. And again, an Entanglement almost on a fly. There is a Bash is actually also coming out of this bear right here. But with the Enfeeble, he is again a utility bear rather than a damage bear.
Era might get this tier 2 again.
Nope, denied. Third tower denied.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That's too bad. But still, decent counter push coming from this Weaver. And I never thought that in my life I would say that on a team with Tinker, the guy doing the pushing is Weaver. But of course it makes perfect sense because they need Tinker to turtle. And so that leaves the Weaver to do counter push. So it's pretty smart, honestly. Very Fnatic-ish.
Yeah.
The so-called rat Dota or what have you. I think Templar Assassin's going to need an MKB just because that laser is so incredibly annoying. So they're probably going to seek to farm that up on Resolution. Another interesting up is you can tell Fnatic are not intending for Hani to push basically this entire game because he's gone Force Staff instead of Blink Dagger. When you're trying to do the counter push, you need the Blink so you can hide in trees, but he's gone Force, and I actually love this pickup because what it means is that they can pull people out of cogs.
Yeah, and he now also has a Scythe of Vice, so that is gonna be him being able to fight a lot more. It's a battle Tinker, and he can actually stand in there, and then they will leave Era to split push, how awkward it may sound, but if it works, it works. I guess mid lane, though, is gonna be the tough one, because there's still 2 towers standing there, and I don't think that iCCup wants to give those up, because they've constantly been standing mid. And they've constantly been forced out of mid as well. They did take the tier 2, of course, right now, so that's great. That's awesome. And by the way, for people wondering, of course, for people watching, waiting for Na'Vi versus Fnatic, obviously that game won't start until this one is over, because we have Fnatic right here. So don't worry about missing that game. You won't miss that game.
They'll just have Fnatic NA stand in for them.
Yeah. That will be not really a match that you'd want to watch. Ooh, burn!
Wow, burns. So, I like what Fnatic are doing because honestly, you and I were discussing, Sheever, about how they don't have the space to farm up heroes, but using this Weaver to counter push means that the Weaver always does find the space to farm. Trixie's sort of finding a little space, and Hani's just clearing out the creeps with turtling capability by March of the Machines. And they are smoked up, so it looks like they may try to do a flank to gank. The problem is there's still a tier 1 mid tower up, which makes it very hard to smoke because you have this big barrier in the middle that you can't pass through. But they might find somebody, I don't know, somebody would have to come into the jungle.
Well, it looks like iCCup has the same idea, though. They smoke as well. I mean, it's kind of obvious when you've seen a team just defending the whole time. I've seen people around mid the whole time, and all of a sudden they all vanish from the map. So I'm kind of expecting that iCCup knows that Fnatic has smoked up. But I'm also thinking that iCCup, or that Fnatic knows that iCCup smoked up. So it's going to be like, who is going to come out first, and who is going to be where first? There are going to be able to...
Trixie.
Oh, Trixie, trouble for him. He is the one they find. TPs are going to try to come in, but it's too late. It is too late. The Tinker has his TP cancelled because he tried to TP to his bear, but Trixie is already... He went down so fast. I mean, yeah. Melt damage and a Desolator.
Big loss, definitely. He does have buyback, I think? Yes, he does. So that's an option if iCCup try to high ground off this. Hani does have his Scythe of Vice, which is a big pickup as well. Nice fissure!
Yeah, they want to try to fight, but the Demonic Purge also slowing Jackal down a bit. And the tower barely showing signs of struggle, and it's iCCup that has forced out March of the Machines. Fisher, the turtle-ish abilities that we know Fnatic has, it's proven to be powerful even at 35 minutes into the game. How long can they hold on though is the question. And another Fisher coming through, rockets flying through as well, but the creep wave already evaporated, and that is gonna be iCCup once again backing off. And more importantly, they did not use the lone druid buyback for it.
Yeah, they still have it. That's a great point. And in the meantime, Era just generating just enough pressure. I mean, it's very much like, if you're Fnatic and things don't go your way, what do? I guess we can split push, because that's what we do because we're Fnatic. And so this Weaver has actually been a huge factor in terms of that split push. He's almost at his next item, I think. So he has two options, BKB or Halberd. And I think
they're looking to fight. Oh, the spill damage actually came onto Era. Look at Era's HP bar. Only because he was in a lucky position there. We just think, though, he is going to be found out there. And Hani able to take a kill there.
Hook? Will they hook? Do you think they will? I'm not sure. They might not land it either. Nice, Hani, very smart. Using the incoming creep wave as a shield against being possibly hooked. Really smart play. And I don't know, they just lose one iCCup. They still ahead by an enormous margin. I mean, you can't overestimate how big this lead is. It's 20k. But it's 20k that they can't turn into a win just yet.
That's impressive from Fnatic's side, I have to say. Experience graph looks the same. I mean, in terms of levels, we have got 3 heroes of iCCup on the top. It is 21, 19, 18. Awesome. And then we have 2 17s and a 16 on the side of Fnatic. And the supports, that is a big difference. Not because it's almost a double amount of level of no-tail, but mostly for those level 2 ultimates. You don't have a level 2 Echo Slam, you don't have that level 2 Demonic Purge, but you do have a level 2 Fiend's Grip. And the hook, of course, has been proving to be very useful as well. And it's going to be Roshan again for iCCup.
So the nice thing about the support levels is the Shadow Demon, the extra levels of Demonic Purge, I hate to say they don't matter, but they almost completely don't matter. Like, it's 100 extra damage. If you can get those levels early, it's a huge deal. But we're 37 minutes in, we're talking about a level 21 Gyrocopter, 100 extra damage on the Demonic Purge doesn't matter. Extra Echo Slam levels are a huge deal, which makes it good that K is actually doing a lot better. He's actually only 450 gold off Blink Dagger. So if this Earthshaker keeps not dying and gets Blink, that could actually be a huge game changer. Otherwise, if he dies and they don't get Blink, I fear that we're getting close to the point at which a flat cannon hit will just kill No-Tail in one shot. And I feel bad for No-Tail, but it could happen.
Yeah, one thing that they're also going to be having to fight against soon is a Butterfly coming off from the Gyro. And I don't believe they have an MKB, and that's one of those items that you just need to have. I mean, you might not be able to... Well, always want to fly, might be in a bit of trouble if the bear can get an entangle off, but gets pulled back again. You're going to be seeing iCCup looking for an initiation, probably.
I like this Blade Mail from Always Wanna Fly because there's quite a lot of damage coming in that Fnatic can't control. Like AoE damage from the Earthshaker, some AoE damage from the Tinker, so the rockets and the March spam. If Clockwork gets in and just has Blade Mail running, that could be a very dangerous beginning of a fight for Fnatic.
And he is going to be looking for places to hook into with that flare. Hani already out of mana, going to be going back to base already. And you see Always Wanna Fly, he's just maneuvering, waiting for the right moment. Waiting for the right initiation. iCCup hang around.
Yeah.
More flares hitting, actually. Oh, finding Hani. If he can find a hook on him.
Yeah, this is so scary for both teams, honestly. If iCCup lose a big fight when trying to high ground, they don't have a lead anymore, kind of. That said, they've got an Aegis and Cheese. Like, that's a lot of useful tools. Here we go, Jackal is moving to the high ground.
They're gonna hook in. They found Hani while trying to TP. He's out of mana. There goes the Blade Mail. Disruption is gonna be there to help save his life. Resolution jumping in, and Hani actually goes down. Resolution getting slowed. Is gonna be able to try to pick up the bear. There he goes. And now it is only time to pick up the racks. Tinker is here again. Some rockets, some lasers. Fortification goes through, and actually the Fisher blocking Jackal from going out of there, but he is gonna be just fine. Cooldown coming down, Bear going down for the second time. Can they find more? Yes, they can. No-Tail goes down as well. Rex go down as well. And I think we might have the end of the game on our hands. iCCup able to stay alive through all the harassment that Fnatic can throw at them. Nice hacks up a resolution, but again, nice Fisher as well. But they just
and cheese.
yeah,
so.
they're just gonna rotate to the bottom lane.
Oh man, very nice. They break the base, they go high ground. Very patient play from iCCup, just waiting until the right moment, the right initiation, and they knew that if they... Oh man, Jackal may have to use that Aegis, but they've got 2 sets of racks.
I blame Mag for that one. He popped the pipe for the second time and actually didn't catch the Bane with that.
Oh, ouch.
If he would, like, he was just slight out of range because the gyro that was standing right next to him did get the pipe up. So it was like really an inch, and he died because of it. But they do get, of course, the racks. No GG being called just yet, though. Fnatic, assuming they're gonna be able to just turtle and split push this to the end.
There are 3.5 minutes still left on Aegis, and they still have cheese. I admire a team that doesn't give up, but I don't know. Fnatic are very, very, very behind. That said, Hani, that happened because they got the initiation on Hani. So they went up to the high ground with the gyrocopter, and at the same time, Always Want to Fly landed a very good hook, which took Hani out of the fight early. Oh man, Hani is in trouble again, actually. Resolution is chasing him. He just has not to. Health is too low.
Actually, he has a cheese. He could have gone for that.
The thing is that I think Hani escapes anyway, just because he can always scythe you when your BKB runs out, and then just TP out, so...
True. Well, I mean, it was a fairly obvious hook, I have to say. I mean, the initiation of the fight, that is. I mean, we saw the flares constantly scouting out for Hani, and at some point he stood still to teleport. Well, then you know your target is not going to move, and you can hook in, and that was the end of it, basically. iCCup, though. We're forced out in the end.
Hani! I think Hani's actually completely screwed here.
Oh, those battery assaults. Flares, one more hit needed. There we go. That's no buyback, Tinker.
Ouch. That's a huge play by Always Want to Fly. That's the thing about battery assault. Suddenly you can't get anything done under it. They're like Leshrac and Tinker, heroes that just, they really, really, really don't want an angry Clockwork run on top of them. And this time there was no no-tail for the defensive disruption. And that's their turtling. Without that, they have no turtling potential. Now, keep in mind, iCCup can't go to the top racks, so...
No, they'll just go for tier 4s.
Or the GG, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've got everything up. They still have the Aegis, they still have a cheese. Actually, the cheese was used, but they're going to be able to pick up these towers fairly easily, I would expect.
No way.
30 seconds. Courier goes down, Weaver goes down, everything goes down. Smiles and GGs are called. iCCup victorious in this game for StarLadder Season 6, game number 2 of day number 6. We're going to be having 2 more games coming up, with, of course, the next one being Fnatic once again, this time up against Na'Vi. And hey, an Echo Slam. Was it the first one of the day?
That is the first one of the day.
Well, awesome.
To be fair, so Kay, I thought, had a pretty good game overall, considering. Like, he ended up level 11, so 3 levels ahead of where No-Tail is. He had some good fissures. They weren't able to generate more opportunities than that, but he almost got to his Blink Dagger. I mean, he got close. True. Overall, I just have to say, it feels like more and more teams are learning the right way to respond to the typical Fnatic dual or tri-core heavy farm and split push. Yeah, starve them to death, exactly.
Well, we're going to see if Na'Vi knows that too, because that's the game we're going to jump in right now. Lobby is already up. We want to start very shortly, so stick around. Na'Vi versus Fnatic coming up in just a moment.
Season 6 of the legendary StarLadder TV series. 16 top European teams, 120 season matches plus an epic LAN final voiced by your favorite shoutcasters. Watch the StarLadder TV matches using your Dota 2 client. Get an exclusive StarLadder HUD. Tickets on sale now.